Mark, today we are going to prove there's nothing sexier than a season finale. And I know everyone who's listening will come to the same conclusion.
Seriously, dude, this is our season finale and you're going to end on such a smutty note.
That's kind of where I feel the season's got to after Sharknado. That's where we are.
Yeah. Get a little bit of gasoline. I'm gonna make it burn. I'm gonna make it burn. Let's go.
You are now listening to the You Run podcast, the only horror movie review podcast completely run and controlled, not by me and Mark, your hosts, but by you, our listeners.
Hey, Scoob, we're on the radio, bro. You want to die tonight? Zoinks!
You choose the movies. You score them. You review them. You do it all. Because after all, this is not our show. This is your show.
I'm your number one fan, Mr. Man.
It's not perfect. It has its problems.
The You Run podcast.
It was just weird. I don't know. I guess like a weird vibe.
The You Run podcast.
Bitch, you better not forget about me. Don't you ever forget about me.
Hey, this is Naomi Grossman, best known as Pepper from American Horror Story.
Hi, it's Imitation Dave. Buddy, you son of a bitch.
Just make sure you fucking listen.
This was fucking incredible. He's the one you need to blame.
Get a little bit of gasoline. I'm gonna make it burn. I'm gonna make it burn. Let's go. I'm gonna make it burn.
Hello, welcome to the You Run podcast. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
And welcome to our season finale. This season has been insane. Mark joined the show from our prequel bonus episode with David Liz and Vincent DePaul as we spoke about the still upcoming Welder movie. It is coming very, very soon, and David Liz will be back with us when that happens. Right through to the insanity of last week that was Sharknado 3. The less said about that, probably the better. In his time with us, Mark, as well, he's changed the show forever. We launched a new second show, our horror movie news, where we leave the mics running, we get drunk, we talk shit about our wives, we talk shit about horror. We just talk shit, really, for an hour or so. Mark often says he doesn't do much on the show, and this is a lie. And I want now, as we're at the season finale, I want everyone to know that Mark is full of shit. Mark does, you can, all you want, you lie.
No, man, I'm working on my bad boy attitude. The guy who's late to the party. Don't sell me out to be a nerd, man.
I'm selling you out now. Mark does endless research every week. He works hard on watching the movies, normally multiple times, much more than I do. I give it a quick once over and write a review. That's pretty much as I do. Mark also brings something else that he's brought to the show that was his invention, which is the recommended account of the week. Mark is incredible, and I'm grateful to have him as my full-time co-host, and he will be joining us in season 6, despite his, I might be, I might not. He will be here. Mark is incredible. Mark is the best. And after that huge build-up, let's see if he can deliver as he gives us his final recommended account of the season.
Check it out.
It's that time of the week. It's time for Mark to recommend an account.
A little bit flabbergasted by what you just said there, mate. I'm humbled. Thank you very much.
That is true. You bring a lot. I just hope your recommended account is good after that build-up.
You know what? I've saved this one for a long time because I want this one to really resonate with people. I want people to really, even if you listen each week and you take on board what I've said about recommended account and you think, I'll go and find that one and I'll check it out, but then never actually get around to doing it. This is the one that I really want you to go and follow out of everybody.
If it's MW horror reviews, I'm going to laugh a lot.
What a bombshell to end the season finale.
The recommended account list for the season finale is me.
No, it's not, unfortunately, but I wish I had a thought of that. No, this week is Bootleg as Fuck, and that is spelled BOOTLEGASF. No U-C-K. It's a very unique account, and it doesn't have the following that I really want it to have because this is so cool. It's basically the perfect combination between nostalgia and pop culture. So this guy, imagine when you were younger and you'd have a joke shop in your neighborhood or estate or wherever you were, and you'd walk into a joke shop and they'd always have those things hung up on the wall. It'd be like a cardboard, the same sort of thing you'd get nowadays with action figures, where they're on a cardboard plastic thing, the action figure in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
it's like that, right? But what he does is he takes newer, relevant sort of films and TV shows, and he makes quippy little poster things for them. So the only way I can really describe it is he's like he does like Shaun of the Dead. So it's a Shaun of the Dead title card. You've got Simon Pegg in it, and then the little plastic thing is the red dart that is thrown into his head, etc. And then they'll do ones. So there's ones where there's a Halloween one, and it's got like a little offcut of a coat hanger from when he got stabbed in his eye. You've got the Predator, and you've got dog tags in it, which is, says J. Hooper on them, and things like that. So it's really, really clever, and I'm massively underselling how talented this guy is. Please, 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 this week, if anything, go and check this account out. Give them a follow. Show them some love. I don't even know if this stuff is available. I don't know whether he just makes them for fun or whether he's selling them wholesale or what, but I would love to get my hands on some of the things that he's created. They're really, really clever. And that is bootleg as fuck. Please check this guy out and show him some love. He's really, really talented. And I think a lot of the people who listen will really appreciate some of the stuff he's done. It's very, very funny.
Yeah, that sounds cool. And I'm amazed you've not messaged him to ask for a piece of the coat hanger.
And if you are listening, bootleg as fuck, I really want your Halloween edition, please. Please send me that.
Please send Mark a piece of coat hanger.
Yes, please send me a piece of coat hanger. I will display it perfectly in my podcasting room backdrop because it would look awesome.
If he doesn't, I might just send you an off-cut of coat hanger.
Is that the same?
Is it not? How about if I send you an off-cut of coat hanger and I sellotape it to a picture of Michael Myers?
Yeah, okay, I'd maybe take that.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go give him a follow because that does genuinely sound cool.
It does. It really does. And I am underselling it and how cool this guy is. So please, anybody listening, give him a like, give him a follow, share it as far as you can across your own socials. He really does deserve the recognition.
Yeah, and he's got a cool account name. Bootleg as fuck is one of the best account names ever. So,
yes.
Not being funny, what more do you want for the season finale? That's enough. This season, we have been blessed with some fantastic guests. We've had Lady Crisis, Robbie Horror Review Girl, or Elise, if I don't call her Elise, she'll get angry. Alex Grass, Voices from the Mausoleum, Angel. We've had a Swedish Horror Nerd, Spaceman and the Doll podcast, Zaphod joined us. Ghost Note, Skellington Fan, Joe Quinn Films, and Tasha Scribbles. We've had literally a long list of guests this season. Now, throughout the season, I have been repeatedly asked when a certain guest will appear. And it has been, honest to God, every 2 days I will get at least one message going, when is this guest going to be on the show? And I've said to all of them from the very first week, the season finale, because she's worth the wait. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome my co-host of True Crime, the host of Wednesday Wine and Horror, albeit she's taken a break, but she's still the host of Wednesday Wine and Horror, the exceptional Heather Silmon.
Hey guys, I look, I already have to bitch at you already because you just literally almost butchered my boyfriend Eddie Munson's name. When let's get our shit together. Oh my God. Like oh Lord, look at my cup. Say everybody else they don't know that we can see each other, but.
Oh, that's awesome.
For everyone who can't see that is a Hellfire Club cup.
Yes.
So
my God.
You're full Eddie Munson then.
I mean, I'm like, he's right up there with Bruce Campbell for me because he's younger, right? So like, hello.
Wow.
Yes, I love him.
Nationally now that you have a thing for toy boys. Okay.
Yeah. How long before the tattoo?
After I have the baby, I already have the tattoo in my head. It's already there. Like, not joking. I was like, can I get a tattoo while I'm pregnant? Fuck. No, it's not really safe. So I better just wait. But, thanks to Mark, he's the one that got me into watching Stranger Things, actually. So I was like, okay. I don't know if I'm going to like I'm obsessed. I'm like, I can't wait.
So what we're saying is Joe Quinn needs to message Mark and thank him for getting him a super obsessive fan.
I think he's got
it just goes to call. I ain't going down with you.
I've seen some accounts, like some fan accounts, and I'm like, people love him. Like,
they do.
Love him really more than they do like Steve or, Dustin, all the rest of the cast. even 11. I mean, because I can't even describe it. He's just like, have you seen his face? Because that's one thing.
I mean, I get it. I get it to a certain degree, but the way this guy's blown up, and it's insane. It really is insane. I mean, I'm still a Steve Harrington fan through and through.
I like Steve. I don't have a problem with Steve. I actually like most of the cast, but something about Eddie, I'm just like,
I think what
okay.
Heather's trying to say is Steve would be really nice to go and get a coffee with. Eddie would not be a coffee date.
I mean, I'm already pregnant. What other shenanigans can I get into?
Yeah, you're in about as much trouble as you can get, so you're safe to do whatever the hell you want.
Like, Steven, sorry, love you. Like, he makes fun of me. He already makes fun of me for like, he's like, really? He looks like an 80s hairband. I'm like, have you not noticed? That's kind of my type.
Anyway, before we dive too deep into this becoming a Joe Quinn appreciation episode, let's dive into what we're here for. So 5 friends venture deep into the woods into a remote cabin. They get drunk, they get high, and they get laid. Little did they know, miles away in an underground bunker, a betting syndicate were taking bets on how they would die trying to save the world. Sounds nuts? It's the season finale. What the fuck did you expect?
Everybody ready? Get the show on the road!
Doesn't even show up on the GPS. It's unworthy of global positioning.
That's the whole point. Get off the grid, right?
Hello? I'm thinking this thing doesn't take credit cards.
Sign says closed.
We're looking for, what's it called?
Tillerman Road.
Once it gets you there, getting back. That's your concern.
Oh, this is awesome.
Whoa. No way.
The lambs have passed through the gate. They are come to the killing floor.
Let's get this party started!
I seriously believe something weird is going on.
What is that thing?
We have to stay together. This isn't right. We should split up.
Yeah, good idea. Really?
We gotta get out of here.
Somebody sent those things here to get us.
You're missing the point. They want to see us punished.
I think I can get it to go down.
Do we want to go down?
So the movie opens up with 2 old guys walking through an office block, talking shit about their lives. It sounds like horror movie news.
Hey, whoa! You keep that old shit to yourself.
Right. Hey, I'm going to say that we're dealing with a baby down here. That's fine. He's a youngin.
As they board a golf cart, a younger employer in a lab coat asks if they've heard about the incident in Stockholm. They laugh and say it doesn't matter because Japan always nail it, and we come second, so who cares? This scene ends with the younger of the 2 older guys inviting the oldest guy to a family barbecue. The first time I switched this on, I'm watching Cabin in the Woods. I sat there and went, have I put on the wrong movie? What the fuck is this? I paused it and went and checked that I had the right film in.
Yeah. It's like the Austin Powers sort of moment where they're driving around in the golf cart and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It's a very strange opening, but I like it, and I like these 2 guys are very charismatic. From the minute you see them, instantly I connected with them. I was like, yep, that is a typical work environment. It's like let's talk about our wives, let's talk about home. We don't really want to be at work, but we're here. And I got that vibe. I loved it. We now meet our teens. First, Dana and Jules. Dana is having an affair with her college professor, and Jules is saying it's okay because they've got Holden coming for the weekend. Holden is Jules' boyfriend's friend from the football team. Is this a thing? Do people actually sleep with their college professors, or is this just a movie thing?
I'm gonna say that's probably pretty true. I mean, there are actual just teachers sleeping with their students, so I don't see why we wouldn't up the ante and have a professor sleep with his student who is probably more of a consenting age.
Yeah, go to jail here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends on age of consent, right? So, like there is a state, I can't remember, Kentucky, Georgia, something. 16 is still the age of consent. 16.
That's the same over here.
That's fucking crazy to me. Like, it's not here in Louisiana, but like, that's, I don't know.
I've always found this strange. So in the UK, at 16, you can't watch a horror movie, you can't order a drink, but you can go to an orgy and that's fine.
Wait, you can't watch a horror film. Like, what if you have an adult buy the ticket? Is that allowed?
No.
What the
allowed.
fuck?
Nope.
Communist shit.
Yeah. So if you're not 18, you're not getting in, regardless of who you're with.
Wow. Not even with a parent or someone older. See, it's so different here because you can watch one. You can be like 11, and as long as, like, honestly, I don't even think they really give a fuck. It's like, you got a ticket, go sit down. Like, they don't really care.
Wow, what a difference. We then get to meet Kurt, and Kurt is a young teenage Thor.
Yes.
That's all I need to say here.
Yeah.
He explains that he's gone from Joe Quinn appreciation to Chris Hemsworth appreciation.
Look, Chris Hemsworth is not my type. We talked about this before. He's not my type. Like, I wouldn't, like, if I had a chance with him anyway, that's hilarious. But he's not my type. Like, he's too buff, macho, but he's got a nice face, so you can't disregard that.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I'm a straight man, but I think I would find it hard to say no to Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
if he's got
the accent, got the Australian accent, so like not in this movie, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He's hot.
He can get it.
Yeah. So he explains he's got his cousin's got a cabin in the woods, and while he's giving this epilogue of he's got a cabin and they're going to go there, he then throws a American football, out the window, and his friend Kurt catches it. Lisa watches a series called Grey's Anatomy, and Kurt is a doctor from that, and I could not get it out of my head for the whole movie.
Yep.
He was a doctor.
I knew I'd seen him somewhere before.
Yeah, I can't think of the doctor's name because I don't pay that much attention.
I never watched the show, but like I just called him Baby Blue Eyes because I don't know. Like, Grey's Anatomy is not my type of show, so I don't know.
The final friend we meet is my favourite by a country mile. We meet Marty, and Marty rocks up in a family station wagon with a bong that could kill a man. It's that big.
Yes.
He gets out and turns it into a travel mug to get in Kurt's dad's camper van.
Marty is excellent.
He's great.
So good. And it's like the fact they're like, are you really driving around with a bong? He's like, do you know no policeman will pull over a man with a bong? They're like, why not? He's like, because I'm smoking a giant bong. I'm scary. And he's the most meek and mild guy ever. We get a quick jump back to the two old guys, and we now find out they're called Citizen and Hadley. They're in the weird office block still, and they're in now what's like, I don't know the best way. It's like it's like a command center. And they're talking about how all the teens have been drugged. They've been drugged through various ways. So one of them's got it in their hair dye. So Jules is boasting about her blonde hair, and they put drugs in her hair dye, and they put drugs in Marty's stash of his weed.
So they're basically turning these characters into the sort of horror stereotypes that we've come to know and love. So you've got your bimbo. I use this word as it's said in the film, not from my own mouth. They call her a hoe. I think she was a brunette or a redhead before this, but the chemicals they've been putting in her shampoo has dyed her hair blonde gradually for the appropriation of what's going on here. And then Chris Hemsworth, we later learn, is like a scholar and some sort of idiot. But the drugs they're using in him over the course of time is turning into a jock macho boy, and etc.,
Yeah.
etc. They're sort of grooming these people to be your standard slasher stereotypes, which was really, really cool. But I must say, the first time I watched this, so jarring. So jarring, this back and forth between the main cast and the people in the lab and the expedition that's going on between them, explaining what's happening. I mean, how did you guys find it? Was this your first watch, Heather?
No, I had seen it. Like, it came out in 2011. So at that time, I remarried, had a baby, all in that same year. So I vaguely remember it. Now, my second watch, which was today, actually, I watched it this morning because I like it fresh on my brain. I was almost a little confused because I couldn't remember. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, then it came to me, like, I pick up on shit pretty easy. I was like, oh, okay, this is a fucking metaphor, but we're going to get into that later, my whole thing on that. But like, I was like, I get it. This is different. And I don't know why it didn't stick with me, to be honest with you. It was so long ago that I watched it. And just, I think having a baby and all that, that stuff, I was just like, it didn't stick with me.
Yeah.
And then rewatching it, I'm like, okay, I see you. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, and I've got to say that the references to other horror and the way they almost they're riding the edge of taking the piss out of horror movies we love. They do it so well.
Yeah.
It's such a fine balance. And the next scene is a prime example of that. So they all jump in the camper van, they drive off, and they stop at a gas station. The horror references here, they pretty much pull up at the set from the Hills of Ice. It's that gas station.
I was going to say like Cabin Fever too. There's like a Cabin Fever kind of vibe.
And I was going to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so we're all on a different plane here altogether.
But it's okay. It's all the same. It's all the same shit though.
The guy they meet in the station is pretty much Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I really like this guy. So he comes out and he's chewing tobacco. So they've gone in to try and find him and he's not there. And then he comes out, he's like, what are you doing in here? Why are you walking in here? And he's like, chewing tobacco, and every 2 minutes he's going,
yeah, nasty.
It's so disgusting. And he's going, well, I'm only letting you take enough fuel to get you there, but you won't be able to get back, and people never come. It's that people never come back from them woods. It's that kind of vibe. He then insults Jules and calls her a whore for no reason whatsoever, apart from she stood there. Chris Hemsworth goes to like attack, and you get Marty go, no, it's fine. Let's get back in the camper van. And Marty's like, yeah, good luck. The railroad will be coming through here real soon. You'll make some money then. This whole scene I absolutely loved because it was funny. Yeah, it's poking fun at what I love in horror and done in such a delicate way that they're not just ramming it down your throat. I loved it. I thought it was great. We then see the camper van. They all get back in and they drive through a big tunnel. We then get the first hint that something is not right as a bird flying through the sky hits something and that's not there, hits an invisible wall and falls to its death. When I watched this first time, I was like, what? That's
how it was today. I was like, okay, we're going into another dimension. Like, where are we? Because I couldn't remember. I'm like, where the fuck is the theme of this going? Like, that was apparent that the bird could not enter that side of the world, quote unquote. So I was like, where the fuck are we going? We're getting sci-fi shit on me now. Come on. I don't know.
I first watch, I was concerned this was going in a direction I didn't want it to.
Yeah, me too, because I couldn't recall.
We get a quick snap back to Hadley and Citizen. I'm going to say I love these guys. I think they're great. They receive a call from someone called Mordecai, who quickly realizes the guy at the gas station. Hadley puts him on speakerphone, and Mordecai starts effectively giving him a warning, same as he did the kids, going, you need to get it right this time. The gods won't be happy. And then you realise, he was like, am I on speakerphone? And Hadley's laughing like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry, I've got you on speakerphone. Let me take you off. And he doesn't take him off speakerphone. And then he starts giving him more of this, like, it won't be right. The gods won't like it. He's gone, I'm still on speakerphone, aren't I? And then him and Citizen just burst into laughter. It's so brilliant.
This is the funniest scene in this entire film.
I think so.
Perfectly done. It's so well done. The timing on it is just perfect. It really, really is. Yeah, I have nothing but love for this moment. It really makes me laugh. And I have seen this film hundreds of times, and every single time this happens, I get genuine belly laughs.
Yeah.
It was like teenage fun, like a prank, right? Like when you put somebody on speakerphone or you prank call someone and it's like, oh, it's not me. And hello, you like hang up the phone. I love it. Plus I love the two guys. These two guys are really notable. Like,
you get the perfect juxtaposition between the two, where you're going from the cast of the main cast and then you're coming back and forth to the guys back in the lab. And that seems to be where most of the comedy seems to fall. But every time it does, it seems to fall perfectly. And then you snap back to the main sort of story arc. And it's a balance that's very, very difficult to master. And not many films do it as well as this has here.
No, this one does it well, because literally you get that scene and the second they're bursting out laughing, it snaps straight back to the teens who've now arrived at the cabin. They're unpacking. They're getting themselves set up. They find a two-way mirror in one of the rooms. So there's a mirror in one room. And in the other side, you can see through it. And this causes the guy from Grey's Anatomy and
Holden.
the girl. And is it Dana to swap rooms? And then Dana sits there and watches Holden as he gets undressed and had the same thing.
I would do.
Yeah. I watched this with Lisa and Lisa was borderline. I had to get drawn.
Lisa was like, hey, hey, is the doctor in?
It was very, very much.
Come on.
It then goes into like this. It's kind of like basic teen horror movie shit where they go and play in the lake and they dive in the lake. And at this point, I'm going to go, oh, really? Do we need this? This is kind of bullshit. But I got it. I understood why it was there. Yeah. Back at the facility, this is how much this movie jumps around a lot. Brace yourselves. They're back and forth quite a bit. Back at the facility has now become Viva Las Vegas, as Hadley and Citizen are taking bets on the fate of the teens and who will effectively come into the cabin and kill them. At this point, you've still got no fucking clue what's going on. Nothing's been explained. No. Hadley's ranting that he wants a merman this time because he's been desperate for a merman for years and he's never got it. We get the new guy who's like a security guy who's working there, who is the most self-righteous asshole in the world. I hate this character.
Was Truman? Not Truman. Yeah. What was his name? Was it
Brown? His name's Brown. Where's Brown? I think is it. It might be Truman. Sorry, I'm thinking of the actor's name.
In the movie.
The character's name is Truman, which is a nod to the Truman Show movie.
Oh, I got that right off the bat. Like as soon as the movie started, I was like, okay, this is already where we're going. Like,
it's I really did. He just annoyed me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like, they're like, oh, do you want to gamble? He's like, no, I don't gamble. He's just so self-righteous. Like, just fucking put your hand in your pocket, get some money out, gamble.
I like him. I'm going to say I like him. And I think he comes full circle later on, which we'll touch upon when we get there.
Yeah, fuck this guy. Back in the cabin, our teams are now getting high and they're having fun and they're drinking and they play a game of truth or dare, which unlocked a desire for wolves that for some reason I'd never had before. And now I have some sort of weird
peach fuzz.
Peach fuzz. Peach fuzz. No, that's not the same. Like her tonguing that I was like, bruh.
What
is happening?
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, and I think before we continue, we should join in on the fun. So we're going to play a game of truth or dare. So Mark, you're going to go first. Mark, would you like a truth or would you like a dare?
Why do I always have to go first?
Because you're. That's why.
Yeah. Basically, you're your co-host. Deal with it. Would you like a truth or would you like a dare?
I'd like a truth.
Okay. Mark, when we reviewed Halloween 4, did I push you to the point where you now dislike that movie?
Oh,
no,
shit.
No, but I wasn't far off. Are you going to edit this bit out? Or are you going to actually?
No. This is staying.
No. You never pushed me that far.
It was close, though.
Yeah, it was very fucking close.
I nearly broke your love for H4.
You did, yeah.
Okay, good. I knew you'd take truth. You're a truth kind of person. I think Heather's a bit braver. Heather's a gambler. I think she might take dare.
What do you want me to do?
Heather, truth or dare?
Dare.
Dare? Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, sure. I'm not kissing a wolf, but
no. I'm going to get you to do something far worse than that. I dare you to finally confess that you love Twilight and you're Team Edward.
I'm never. Fuck you. I'll leave this podcast right now. Y'all, wait a minute. Let me Google what a plane ticket costs to get there, because I know your motherfucking address.
Would you like to trade?
And Mark, I don't know why you laughing too, because I'll find your ass too. I'm FBI.
Would you like to change to truth then? Would you like to go to
do
truth?
A truth?
Okay.
And I will not. You're going to make me so mad. Like I'm trying to get. Go ahead, truth.
You can take a truth. It's time to confess. Are the Twilight books really yours?
I swear to God, I'm gonna stick that wolf up your asshole. They're not fucking mine. My daughter has them. Damn, I'm trying to keep my shit together. Here we go. Hits are hot now.
If anyone's wondering what the sound bites in the intro to season 6 may be, they may be coming from this segment we've just done.
You know what? Fuck both y'all for real. Y'all get a double this. Because he's laughing. You're laughing. You're laughing. So you're just antagonizing Scott. He's like,
he doesn't need no antagonizing. He's an arsehole on his own right.
Well, now we've got that out of the way, and I've made you both quite happy and quite bubbly. Let's carry on.
I'm so happy. I'm very happy. Let's move on. I can't wait.
While they're playing Truth or Dare, the basement swings open, and all that went through my head was the Evil Dead.
Yeah, except for I'm real funny about people trying to use that as some type of inspiration because they could fuck it up real easy. But I was okay with that. That was cool. That's fine.
I think
when it's done in a collection like this, where this is not just drawing inspiration from one horror film, it's taking inspiration from a wide, vast range of films within the genre.
I think
it's acceptable, because it's not it's not its sole focus. They're not trying to copy even though the film is called Cabin in the Woods, it's not trying to focus solely on that Cabin in the Woods vibes that you get from the Evil Dead. It's snippets throughout. I mean, this was more of a nod and a homage to it than it was a blatant rip-off. And I think that's something that this film does throughout really, really well.
Yeah, it does. It's got some rip-off bits later that I'm going to mention. But yeah, this is definitely a nod. At this point, it's Dana's turn to be dead, and she is dead instantly, the same as I would have done. I dare you to go down in the basement. Would you? Well, I'm not going to ask you.
You don't even need to ask me.
No,
we know Mark's dead. Look, he is DED dead. No A in it. DED dead. Yeah. Immediately he's gone. Don't put his name in the fucking credits because he ain't even. It's not even worth it.
No,
he's gone.
Mark died at the gas station when he attacked the attendant. That's how far Mark got into this movie.
Yes.
They all follow her downstairs, and this is where they start looking through the strange collection of items. So you've got a music box with a ballerina, you've got a puzzle sphere, which is ripped straightly off of Hellraiser, but they've made it round instead of square. You've got a wedding dress, you've got are they called a conch, the shell?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, they've got a conch down there. And then you've got Marty being the only sensible one there going, look, we need to leave this shit alone. He even reaches a point where he goes, I dare you all to go back upstairs, and everyone ignores
he's smart.
Him. He's really smart.
This is a really, really tense scene, though, for me. I every time I watch this, and they're all doing it, even though I've seen it unfold every single time, you're like, every single one that is down in that basement almost gets to the point where they're gonna sort of reach that point of unlocking it, where they're gonna unlock the puzzle box, or they're gonna, do you know, it's really tense. You're like, you're watching it, you're like, oh, is it gonna be this one? Is it gonna be that one? Is it gonna, you know?
Yeah, it's a good scene. I really, really like this scene. It's done in a way that you don't know what any of these items do, but every single one you're like, oh, is he gonna blow into the conch? Is he gonna open the puzzle box? It's really,
be careful how you say that. Conch.
Are you gonna blow into the conch?
You gotta listen. You gotta pronunciate that N.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, don't blow into the cock.
We're getting in a different type of podcast after hours.
They all keep looking through. They ignore Marty. And back at the facility, I love it when it flicks back. Everyone is sat on the edge of their seat, and you can hear a pin drop as they're all watching, waiting to see what they choose. And it's Dana who selects something. She picks up a book and starts reading from the book, and the others listen. It's a diary of a brutally beaten girl who's beaten by her family. And the last bit says something about them coming back. Then there's a bit of Latin, As she starts to read the Latin, Marty absolutely loses his shit. He's like, "Don't read that. I've watched The Evil Dead. Do not read that out loud. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But it's a horror movie. It'd be a shit horror movie if she didn't read it. So she read it. We then cut to outside and we see the family rising from their graves. Back in engineering. So I'm going to start that again.
While you're stuttering and muttering, I just want to call this out now. Where was everybody else on the selection that was made? Because for me, I've seen the list on the wall and I've seen the finale. I don't think this was the best pick for this film.
No, I probably, if I could have picked, I wanted the Merman.
Where were you, Heather? What would you have gone for? Because I mean, the zombie thing's been done to death. So, like, this is the only gripe. This is the only gripe I have with this film. This is the only thing that really annoys me, is that I feel like they were a very lackluster selection of the group of possibilities they could have had.
I think I would wanted to see something weird, like Merman would have been super weird, right? Because when do you ever see that? But the zombies, I wasn't. Like, to me, it felt like Hocus Pocus zombie. You know what I mean? I was like, these zombies are not effective. They're not scary, and their makeup looked. I have a few gripes that we'll get to eventually, but
I didn't necessarily have a gripe with the makeup. I just thought
I didn't care for it.
I just thought they could have done something really, really cool. Like the Hellraiser kind of guy was amazing. And
I was going to go with that second, because it's like, it's a ball. So let's see, like, it's not going to be exactly like Hellraiser, but it's going to open up a different type of evil or something. Instead, they went with zombies, and it was just sort of like, okay. Again,
I mean, thankfully enough,
generic.
These are not something that's a lingering main focus for the plot. But I just felt, given the way this film plays out and all the rest of it, I just felt like the selection that they chose at this point could have been better.
I'd agree with that. And now I'm back on board and I know what I'm doing. Back in the facility, they're all cheering and hooping and hollering because engineering and the intern picked the correct thing that's going to come to kill them. The girl comes up and goes, "I picked zombies." And Hadley's like, "You did pick zombies, but you didn't pick zombie redneck family. See, they're completely different species. So unfortunately, you lose." And again, I like that because it's just a pointless little touch, but I liked it. And I like the fact that Hadley has a moan that it wasn't the merman. And Citizen does what any good friend would do, is like, "Yeah, if I'm honest, a merman's not that great. And the cleanup's a bitch. So you don't want it.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Don't worry about it." From here, the next 15 minutes is literally zombie carnage. We get Jules and Kurt go out into the woods for a quickie because all of these pheromones that they've been had in their chemicals and they pump stuff into the atmosphere. They've gone out now to effectively go and have a quickie. That's what they've gone there for. When they're in the woods, she gets decapitated, and I think this looked great. I love this decapitation. I also like the fact that Kurt just goes, "Fuck you, bye." And just
it's like,
I mean, whatever. I don't know. He does. That's not fair to Kurt. He does do an attempt to try and save her, and he gets like a 12-inch blade in his back, and then he's literally held, and by the remaining family as he's watched as she's decapitated before he finally escapes. It's not like I wouldn't necessarily say he bails.
No,
he bails and leaves her to die. She's already dead by the time he runs away.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give you that, but he doesn't hang around. As she is dead, you see Hadley and Citizen recite a prayer, and they pull a lever which pours blood into a carving of a woman on a stone tablet. Kurt gets back to the cabin, and he tells everyone that Jules is dead, and they barricade the house, and they decide to stick together. This is where the movie takes a step that I think is it's a bit weird. I like it, but it's a bit weird. You get a voice from the facility telling them they need to split up, and none of them hear this apart from Marty. And Marty is like, no, we don't need to split up. Like, yeah, we need to. And there's this big argument. Back in the facility, they go into blind panic. How the fuck did he hear that? Did he hear that? What's going on? He shouldn't have heard that. I liked it. It's still at this point, if you've seen this movie, obviously you know where it goes. But if you haven't, at this point, I have literally explained, or we've explained on this show, as much as you know as a viewer. There's nothing we've missed out. You have no clue what's going on at this point.
Yeah, and I'm going to say now that on my first watch of this film, I didn't like it.
Did you not?
Nope. I didn't like this film at all on my first watch, which is going to highlight a lot of my score of this film when I get to it at the end. But just know now, going in where we are, and we're talking about this as a first-time viewer, and we're progressing through the plot and we're explaining everything. At this point, I was like, this film fucking sucks, man. It makes no sense to me what is going on.
They spend a lot of time trying to figure out why he's like immune to the drugs they've given him, and at this point, he then in his panic, he discovers one of the cameras, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" He's kind of trying to piece together what's going on. And they are going into meltdown in the facility. And it's at this point where they go, "Oh, don't worry, one of the zombies." And with that, one of the zombies bursts through the window, dragging him off into the forest. And all you hear is these blood-curdling screams.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy.
Yeah, and they do the ritual thing, and they release the blood down into the gods.
They do. Mm-hmm. They do. When he gets dragged off, they do that. At this time, it goes into the carving of a dancing man holding a wine glass. Which when I watched it, I instantly went, "It's Heather."
No, it ain't me. I don't have a ding dong. That ain't me.
No, you didn't have a. If you could like fill in the ding dong, that was you. It was a dancing.
Cut the ding dong off.
Fill in the ding dong.
He's trying to make me have a bigger dick, basically. I mean, honestly, now joking aside, I probably do have a bigger dick than most men sometimes. So,
I'm not even going to try to dispute that. I'm going to glaze over it and keep going. A zombie tries to break into Dana's room, but Holden comes to her rescue, pulling her through the two-way mirror. They make their way down to the basement, and they work out that this is the basement where the father had tortured the zombie daughter. They try and find their way out, and then bang, bear trap to his back. This is the coolest weapon ever.
It's unique. It was different. It was different. I don't think I've really ever seen a horror film where it's like they use a bear trap.
Yeah.
Like it's always a knife or machete or axe or something like that.
Yeah, so this is a bear trap on a giant steel chain that the zombie throws, and it goes into his back, and then he starts reeling them in. It's a really good weapon. I liked this a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that, again, they didn't use it enough. I'd like to have seen someone killed with this.
Like in a head.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just like knocked him out a few times. I don't think he didn't kill anybody with it, did he, though?
No, he didn't. The zombie kind of almost falls into the room, and Dana kills the zombie with a crowbar to the neck and then repeatedly stabs it until it dies. They open, this is where they're trying to find a way out. They can't find a way out. Kurt opens the door from the other side, and they make a good choice. They all get in the camper van and go, "Do you know what? This is shit. Let's go." And they all drive away. Yes. And I wasn't sure where it was going after this, and where it went is not where I expected. So they reach the tunnel, and they start going through the tunnel. You cut back to the facility, and Hadley and Citizen are absolutely losing their fucking mind because engineering have forgot to blow the tunnel and close them in.
Now, again, I want to jump in here because I don't think that's the case, because he goes into this room and he checks the wiring, and the wiring has all been disconnected. So I think this was done by, I'm not going to even try and remember his name.
Truman, the other guy?
Mr. Truman, yeah, the Truman Show guy.
Yeah.
I think he has sabotaged the controls in this room to try and relieve his own conscience for being included and being involved in this situation.
That makes sense, because he wasn't, you could tell that he was really hesitant about the whole thing.
Anyways. He didn't want to be there.
He didn't like,
but he didn't like it. And he was always questioning the guys' morals and why they were doing what they were doing. And this isn't right, and you shouldn't be doing this. So I feel it's not a case of they forgot to blow it, because even they mention it later on as well. They're like, no, we were sabotaged, sort of thing. And Hadley had to go in and try and jumpstart the cables almost.
Yep.
I think that Truman Show man had gone in and sabotaged the cables to try and give them a fighting chance to be able to get away.
Yeah, and that makes sense. It does make sense.
But it's not said like that way in black and white throughout the film at all, but I think it's sort of directed in that way.
But now you've said it, it does, that would make sense, and it fits with the story, and it fits with him being a massive tool. That's kind of works for me. It works for how I view his character. Midway through the tunnel, Citizen fixes the problem, and it begins to collapse, and they reverse all the way out of the tunnel, and they're now trapped on a cliff edge. So they've got the cabin behind them, a block tunnel in front of them, and to their left they've got a cliff, which is, I don't know, 30-foot gap between the two edges to get back to the road the other side. On the back of the trailer, they've got a dirt bike, and Kurt jumps on this. He's like, I've done bigger jumps than this before. And watching this, I'm like, this is great. He's gonna go get help. He goes off the cliff and then splat into the invisible wall that the bird hit earlier and falls to his death. And we get the carving then filling the statue or the carving of a jock or like a muscly type character.
Yeah, because as each one is killed, the statue's getting filled up. Yeah, with the blood running through it. But I just did not really like the way that they killed Cabin in the Woods Thor.
No, this was the best kill. This is the best kill in the film for me as well, because it was just so unexpected. Because you get that throwaway scene at the beginning with the eagle flying into the
but was
thing,
it?
and it never comes back around again up until this point, and you forget all about it. And then when he jumps a cliff and you see him hit it, you're like, "Oh shit, fuck yeah, you shouldn't be doing that." And he tumbles down it as well. So fucking weird. Oh man, honestly, I loved it. So cool.
I didn't love it. I knew. I was like, this motherfucker gonna be like, because I remembered the stupid bird, because birds are stupid anyway. Like, I was like, this is good. I knew it. I was like, this is what's gonna happen. He's not gonna make it. It's not gonna fucking make it. Now, the way he fell down was pretty, like, he dead, like Mark. Dead, duh.
Yeah, and I did like when he fell down, every time he hits the wall, it makes like a pinball machine noise. It's like a ding, dong, dong, dong.
Yeah, that was cool. But like I say, I didn't remember the first time around. When I watched this for the first time, I completely forgot about that throwaway couple of second scene with the bird flying into it at the beginning. I didn't even pay any real attention to that. And so when
I did happen, because it's weird.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and
I just thought it was so strange.
Yeah, the bird flying in at the beginning is literally, it's a second. It's you see a bird flying, it's a dunk, and then they cut straight away from it. So it's It's really subtle, but yeah, I love this kill. I wish they'd killed a different character. I wanted Chris Hemsworth to the end. I think he is now a big enough actor that there's no way this would happen to him in a movie now. But when this came out, he was a nobody effectively.
He'd come off the back of Neighbours.
Yeah.
Okay, because he like Thor and all the Marvel, like, is that correct? Like that whole universe of
that
stuff that he was in.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I didn't watch any of those.
He was on an Australian soap called Neighbours before this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a really bad budget soap.
I mean,
I think it was Neighbours or maybe Home and Away. Neighbours or Home and Away.
He was on one of those Australian budget soaps that in the UK in the 80s everyone thought was amazing, and they're really
Oh yeah. No.
Holden and Dana now make their way back to the cabin, realizing that crazy Marty might actually have been right, and there might be something too. They need to stay put and find a way out, which Marty was screaming at them earlier. When they got into the camper van, there was blood on the inside of the window, and they show you just a brief shot of it. And as they're driving back, that all comes to fruition as a zombie stabs Holden in the side of the head. It's so brutal.
It's through the
neck.
Oh, is it the neck?
It's through the neck.
It's through the neck from the back. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's very, very gory and
gross. Violent. I like it. Apparently, I'm like a psycho, so I like, scary stuff where people get chopped up because, I can't talk about my dreams because when I said that, now I'm crazy. And Mark, I know you're smiling. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have a wife. I know what you're talking about.
Hey, look, you know what? You can't help it. Sometimes you got to chop off the head, the arms, the legs. You just keep chopping them up. Like, because you don't know. Like, if they can't come back. I don't know. Chop them up.
I was referring to the fact that my wife thinks I'm weird for watching horror films. I don't know where you're going.
That was the dream I had. Anyways, I killed. Anyways, we're not going to get into that. But yeah, no. A lot of people think I'm weird for liking that kind of shit. So I'm there with you.
Yeah, I don't think you're weird. The camper van then crashes into the lake. Back at the facility, they're all happy now. They're happy that everyone now has died. And the virgin character who's played by Dana, she's apparently optional, so they don't need to kill her. She pulls herself up onto the dock, as a zombie turns up and literally kicks the crap out of her for quite a decent amount of time. He's picking her up, he's throwing her, he's booting her across the deck. There's a big party going on in the facility. They're getting champagne. People are turning up. They're bringing food. It's a proper get together. And this is when the red phone, which I dubbed as the bat phone on the wall, rings. And Citizen's like, everybody shut the fuck up right now. And he answers the phone. And his response is fantastic because you don't hear what's said. He's gone, but we followed the rules exactly. Okay, no, don't worry. We'll deal with it. This is where we get Dana. You could see on the screens behind him as he's like, we'll deal with it. As he's fighting, the zombies fighting Dana, you get a kill with the giant bong because Marty is not dead and he wallops the zombie round the head with the bong and saves Dana. This was brilliant.
I was excited. I was like, oh man, yes, he did. Because I really liked his character. He's probably my favorite character really in the movie. And I was like, oh yes, he didn't die. Like, because I don't know, it made me excited. I was like, the stoner lives.
But that's the thing though, that's the beauty of this film. Like, he played up to a trope where you expect him to die first. So when he does die first, you just kind of, oh, okay, that's the end of his, unfortunately. And when he comes back in this moment, you're like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Like, he should not be doing this. He should not be the hero in this situation.
He definitely should not be the hero for sure.
And they shoot it brilliantly as well, because when he comes in, there's this kind of like epic music just building up, and there's a slow-mo as he jumps through the air and swings this massive travel cup bong. It's really good, and they make a good thing of making him the hero. They escape from this zombie and they get their way back to the cabin. And Marty shows Dana that he's found a room in the basement and he can open the door to an elevator. And he's like, I can make the elevator go down, but I can control it from out here. So I've got to start it. And then we jump in. She's like, well, do you think it's a good idea to go down? He's like, well, it's fucking better than being up here with all the zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they jump in and they go down. This is where it just goes so... This movie here takes a step beyond anything I ever expected from it. They go down and you get this, they're in pitch darkness and they go down in the lift and then it pulls out, sort of goes sideways. And it stops next to various other boxes like this lift that have got various different monsters. So you get one that's got the ballerina and her face is like a mouthful of teeth. And you get the guy who is a complete rip-off of Pinhead, but he's Sawblade head.
Yeah, and he's got the puzzle box that we see in the basement earlier on, sort of thing. Who else do you get? You get the werewolf, which was cool. Yeah. You get the ghost. The ghost was really, really cool as well. I really like the ghost guy with you see the sort of mist coming up to the screen and the hand coming down the glass. That was really, really clever. Overall, this is just very cleverly done. Yeah, there is. And you get the pan out scene and they're all interchanging like they're on a timer. And I have to feel like this was a nod and a homage to Cube, which one of the best sci-fi horrors out there, I think.
Yeah.
Or 13 Ghost.
Or 13 Ghost as well, yes.
I haven't seen Cube. I don't think I've ever actually sat down and watched it, but like 13 Ghost. I need to rectify a lot of shit in my life, but anyways, but yeah, I was just like 13 Ghosts. Like 13 Ghosts is not a favorite of mine though, so it's not like a rewatch for me. I really don't love it. I'm one of those people, but anyway, that's what it reminded me of. I was just like, oh, because each of the ghosts were in a separate thing, a room or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool scene, and the panning back shot is great. And if you pause the panning back shot, I'll get to it in facts. There's lots of little cool nods in there, Tara, and some weird shit in there as well that I'll mention. When the lift stops, they get out, and they are effectively attacked by a group of tactically armed military personnel, and they hide in like this little control room that's right by the lift, so it's got bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
There's a button in there that says purge system. And Dana goes, oh, that's a good idea. I'll tell you what I'll do. That big thing that's like a flick switch and then a safety lever and then a big red button that pretty much says do not push. I'm going to push that. After she pushes that button, shit.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
And I love the way that this is filmed as well, because it's so cool, because the camera is fixed. It's fixed at the top of the hallway, and you just see all these elevators down either side, and you see all the armed SWAT people sort of in a mass in the middle, and all of a sudden you hear this elevator standard ping, and it goes ping, and it just opens, and it just goes, and they just swarm in, and you get every creature you could possibly imagine bursting through these doors and taking out this SWAT team left, right, and center, and it's fantastic. It is so beautifully done. It really, really is.
Yeah, and I love the moment that when the SWAT team, the head of the SWAT team, realizes what's happened, and it is as the elevator tings. He tings, and you see his shoulders drop, and he like lowers his weapon. It's like there's not even any point now. I know I'm fucked.
Basically.
Really, this I can't begin to describe the amount of bloodshed and carnage in this scene. Yeah. There's a giant cobra. There's
I think the cobra is my favorite. I think, or the scarecrows. What are you guys picking?
I liked the cobra.
You want to know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Okay,
what are you going for?
We might get into a physical fight. Well, we can't physically fight, but we might get into a virtual fight. So, like, that scene is cool. Like, with the elevators, that's cool to me. But like, the CGI stuff, it had to be CGI, right? I mean, it was a little...
But the fact that you're saying that it had to be CGI makes me know that you weren't 100% sure how CGI it was. Because it's that good.
No, Mark, that I'm not done yet, dear. Okay, just hold on a second. Anyways, it was more of a, how do I say this nicely? But anyways, that's not my thing.
You're on the Euro podcast. Don't say it nicely. Just say it.
It looked extremely cheesy.
What do you think?
When all of the animals, like, you have what was it, like a bat? Yeah. Looked like a fucking bat werewolf thing. I don't even know. It looked like some shit off of How to Train Your Dragon. I was like,
obviously, Heather, like me and you have the similar taste in films. Like
we
you love
do.
Your B-movie shit as well. Like, so for me, I thought this was.
I don't
fantastic.
like CGI though. Like CGI. Yeah, but I don't. But I just thought this was so well done. Like the CGI was incredible. We're gonna bye, Scott. So this is the whole thing. It's not that it's not that I hated it. It's just obviously this is more of a horror comedy. So the whole time I'm like, this isn't scary. Like, oh my God, this is like, what the fuck is that? A Power Ranger? Like, I just was like not scared by it. It didn't get me. The effects were cool in the sense of like elevators opening up, everything comes out. That's really inventive and that's neat. But I was like, what is that? And the blood, but I don't know.
I tell
I've
you
been
what,
watching a lot of bad movies.
That scene, and we'll just add the Power Rangers music to it now.
I can do the Power Rangers move, but not right now because I'm pregnant. But I have video of me actually doing it at my friend's house. I jumped off her couch. I was drunk. I was the Pink Ranger, though. Girl. But anyways, Mark, sorry.
No, I'm holding back my rage right now. I'm trying to woosah myself.
Yeah,
calm down. Calm your tits down. It's fine. Fine. Calm your titties. You're fine. Look, you know how I am. You know I'm opinionated, and
you would have loved this. I thought you would have been.
Not. Did he not hear me, Scott? It's not that I don't love it.
Don't rope me into your argument.
God, this is your show. Anyways, it's not that I didn't love it. I didn't think it was like garbage. I was just expecting some of the CGI kind of like was jarring to me. So I think if they would have left out a few of the creatures, I would have been like a little more into that. But I'm already going into the film knowing that it's pretty funny. Like, there's nothing scary about, for me.
Do you know who else went into the monsters and didn't like the CGI? That was Dana and Marty as they run down the stairs. So they head down the stairs to the control room. Did you like that? That was smooth.
I'm gonna choke.
As they run downstairs, you cut to Hadley. And Hadley finally gets his wish as he gets a merman. The merman literally like lumbers and crawls across the floor to him and then eats his face, spraying blood out of like a blowhole on its back. And instantly you get the call back to Citizen going, they're a bitch on cleanup. It's like, oh yeah, I see now. They spray shit everywhere. They're not good. Citizen manages to escape this as he jumps down a hatch. when he gets down to the bottom of the hatch, he bumps straight into Dana, who stabs him.
Mhm.
He's saying to Dana that she must kill Marty. She has to kill him.
Yeah.
And that's kind of his dying wish. And it's at this point in the movie where we realise they are trying to make a sacrifice to some elder gods. And they do this all over the world, and they need one to succeed to save the world. And if it doesn't, the world will end. And every other facility has failed apart from theirs. Now, this is where you realise as a viewer that Citizen and Hadley and all these horrible monsters, they're actually the good guys. And I love that twist on it.
Mm-hmm.
That now you're going, actually, yeah, you need to kill him now. Marty's got to go. And I like the fact they do that. It's there's no other movie I can think of that gives you that twist.
I didn't still necessarily think that they were still the good guys at this point.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. And I get it. I get it. Now you say it like that. Like, yeah, they clearly are the defenders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't appeal to me in that way. Like, I was still like, yeah, but is it worth sacrificing the 5? And in the grand scheme of things, yes, it's definitely worth sacrificing the 5. But when you're focusing on these characters throughout, you're like, man, you guys are still assholes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
but
no.
It's such a nice little tweak on it that makes you just have that moment. You go, okay, yeah. I want them to survive, but I understand if they survive, everyone dies. It's a really nice little tweak to a story.
Yeah.
Dana and I don't know if I keep calling her Dana, then I call her Dana. Well,
I think it's Dana. Say
Yeah.
it like you're from the South. Dana.
Dana.
There you go. so proud of you.
So Dana and Marty find themselves in a large room, and in this room, this is where
Uh-huh.
you've got all of the stone tablets on the wall.
Yeah.
And then we meet the director of the facility, Sigourney Weaver. What the actual fuck is she doing in this movie?
And she looks like she's 35.
Mm.
I mean, to me, I know that she's older than that, but I was like, damn, she still looked like that. I mean,
Yeah.
no, granted, this is 11 years ago, but still, like, she looked good, and I just haven't seen her in anything really in a long time. So
Yeah,
I was like, damn, she looks good.
I sat there and went, fuck, it's Sigourney Weaver. Why is Sigourney Weaver here? And
Because she plays that character very well.
Really, really
She's
well.
kind of like bone dry face, and it's just like, this is the way it has to be. And she's good at being kind of a bitch, actually.
Yeah, and she does it really well. So she explains to them the whole situation, that there are elder gods. She explains there's a sacrifice. She explains that Marty has to die. And she explains that Dana needs to be the one that kills him. So at this point, Dana points a gun at Marty's head, and we get the Wolfman callback as the wolf drags her back into the darkness. Marty
Did you think at this point, though, that Dana was going to go through with it?
Yeah, I did.
I did.
She looked like she was going to, didn't she? She looked like she was going to take him down.
Yeah, I thought there was a brief second I thought she was going to. Marty picks up the gun and he shoots at the wolf, scaring the wolf away.
Mm-hmm.
He then has this kind of weird fight with Sigourney Weaver. And don't fight Ellen fucking Ripley. It's not going to end well for you.
No.
But they have the fight. He's about to lose. Sigourney Weaver's got him down. Ellen Ripley's about to kick ass. And he's saved by the zombie girl from the family at the beginning, who buries an axe into the back of Sigourney Weaver's head. And this effect, I don't know if it's CGI or it's practical, but this looked brilliant.
That one, to me, it looked more realistic. I don't want to get in a fight again with Mark, but like, just saying, it actually looked like, even if it was CGI, which I'm sure they used some, because I feel like in this film, that's the base. That's pretty much what they used. But it was a little more realistic, and I was like, "Oh well, bye." And I was like, "Finally, somebody's head got smashed in." That's what I've been waiting on.
And the noise it made is exactly the same noise it makes in Creep when they bury the axe in.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit is
closing
fucked up.
moments. Yeah, that's weird as fuck. That final scene. It does it in that as well.
It is that. That's that
fucked up.
sort of a noise. It's
It's
really
like
good.
It's the way he kicks. It's the way he kicked off afterwards. That's what really enjoyed it for me, was where he kicked the zombie girl off, knowing that it would pull Sigourney Weaver down with it because the axe was buried in her head.
Yeah, it's a really great shot. After this, it gets a little bit weird because Marty and Dana sit down, roll up a joint, and smoke and agree. Well, let's let the world end. It's probably about time someone else had a chance to run things because it's pretty shit as it is. The final shot of the movie is a giant hand smashing through the ground, through the cabin, and then slamming down on the floor. Where were we all with the final shot? How did we?
I loved it.
Oh, well, we know you did. I mean, as a parent. No, it's not
Stop
that I didn't
me,
like.
Heather. Stop sassing me. I like this film, okay?
Wait a minute, hold on. Is he talking to me? No, like I didn't like the way it ended because I needed to know a little bit more. Even though we know already, like we know, but me, I hate a conclusion like that. I'm just like, but could y'all just switch this up and let them live and then the world not end? Can we be positive? But I know that's not what.
Though. That's what I mean.
I don't care. That's what I wanted.
And if anyone's wondering, this is why the co-hosts of the shows are on separate shows and not all together. Could you imagine if we brought Elise on as well? I'd just sit here and just watch.
She would be saying fuck every 5 seconds. Like she says it as much as I do, but she might have me beat actually on sometimes.
you need to see the editing that goes into YouTube. That word is said a lot.
I can imagine. I've watched the episode. I know.
Elise, I love you. I know you're listening, but you are one step away from being Eric Cartman from South Park.
What's the big deal? It doesn't hurt anybody. Fuck.
It's okay. It's like makes her charming.
It does.
An endearing quality.
Another endearing quality is the 3-word review. So let's find out what you all thought about this movie. We wanted them. You delivered them. It's this week's 3-word reviews from the listeners. Okay, as it's the season finale, I decided to pick out some of our most frequent 3-word reviewers for the entire season. And everyone who's featured has given 3-word reviews pretty much every single week. They've not always appeared on the show, but every week they get involved. And thank you, every single one of you who does that every week. And you're all great. Although you don't get picked every week, you are really, really appreciated. So we have got Insult Word Fighting, Absolute Meta Mayhem, and they are a Monkey Island Post daily. I've said that lots, and I'm not going to explain it. You need to go and follow them. So that's Insults Word Fighting. We've got Skellington Fan, Unpopular Opinion, Trash, Skelly, come on.
Skelly.
You're going to hurt Mark's feelings a lot.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Josh at Nightmare on Woodsboro Lake, an unexpected conclusion. I think that pretty much nails it. We've got Horror Review Girl, Elise. Absolutely fucking amazing. So
wow.
Elise, yeah.
For a season finale, this is it. Me and Elise have actually agreed on something. Amazing.
You have. And I think had she been on, it would have been unbearable with you two going, this is so good. This is so great. We got Cray Cray KJ, Unique, Amazing, Creepy, and they are an awesome horror account. You need to go and follow them. And finally, we got Zeeblebrox, Unique Horror Twist. Now, Zeeblebrox is co-host of Spaceman and the Doll podcast. Now, many would say that it's a coincidence that I chose Zaphod's 3-word review last. Others would say it's fate. But honestly, it's because it's time for Heather to see if she can catch him on Broken Spirit.
My spirit's already broken.
I told you, I want to play a game.
They will say that I have shed innocent blood.
The power of Christ compels you!
What have you done to its eyes? Well, it's elevated horror.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
You're going to like it.
I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end.
How was that the slaughterhouse?
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Oh, I know this one, you fuck.
Now, Broken Spirit is the unbeatable quiz that has dominated this season. I've decided to modify it today, as it's a season finale. As everyone knows, Heather listens every single week, and she said it earlier in the episode, which just tied so nicely into this.
That doesn't mean I remember shit, but okay.
what we're going to do this week is not only test Heather's horror knowledge, we're also going to test her memory, as all of the questions from Broken Spirit, all of the questions from Broken Spirit have appeared in this show this season and been answered correctly.
I ain't gonna remember.
The question is, Heather, who would you like to start quizzing you? Would you like me to go first?
Both. I know how this goes. Both. Let me have y'all both.
Yeah, no. You're getting both of us. It's the finale. Do you want me first or Mark first?
Shit, I guess you.
You're going to go with me. Okay. Scream came out in 1996 and was directed by the great Wes Craven. But who wrote it?
Oh, God. I'm already going to fail it because I can't remember.
Yeah, you can. Come on, rack your brains.
No, I can't. I'm sorry for yelling. I mean, like, Wes Craven didn't write it. No?
No, Wes Craven didn't write it. Think.
Kevin Williamson?
Yes. Correct. Plucked out of nowhere. Well done. 10 points. Mark, over to you.
Excuse me, I clear my throat a minute. I just slightly choking.
It's okay.
What is the only horror movie to star Busta Rhymes?
Oh, Halloween Resurrection.
Well done. That's 20 points.
Okay, question 3. If you go out on this, Heather, this will be the funniest exit of Broken Spirit ever.
I don't care.
Bruce Campbell played Ash Williams multiple times in movies and Ash vs. the Evil Dead. But could you name one Marvel movie that he has appeared in?
Oh, was it Doctor Strange?
Yeah, correct. Well done.
Okay. Oh, y'all, this...
You are now tied with Spaceman and the Dog.
I don't want to be tied. I don't give a shit. I don't want to be tied with you. I'm like tied with myself. Anyway.
Go on then, Mark. Over to you. Question number 4.
Question number 4. Who wrote the 1981 movie The American Werewolf in London?
Oh my God. See, I don't know because I haven't seen that movie since... What year are we in now? 2022?
No, you know this. You know this. We've spoken about this before. Think within your mind. You know who did this.
Yeah.
Because we spoke about it the other week. Because I watched it and I messaged you and I said to you.
John Landis?
Yes. Well done.
Correct. So you are now
so smart.
Yeah. You are now.
I don't know.
You are now top of the leaderboard. You could walk away now and potentially steal the season, or you could keep going. What do you want to do?
Oh, shit. Wait a minute. But is other people going to take the quiz, or is this like, I'm done?
No. There's still more people to do it. So we've got Mr. Tazzy
well, no, keep going. Fuck it. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
The Hollywood remake of The Ring was released in 2002. When did the Japanese original come out?
I didn't watch that.
Was it A, 1997, B, 1998, C, 1999, or D, 2000?
Oh my God, I'm going to kill myself. 98?
Correct. Wow. 50 points.
Yo.
Over to you, Mark.
Question number 6. Scream is set in which fictional town?
Woodsboro.
Well done.
Correct.
Well, yeah, because that one's easy. Wow.
Hey, there are a varied amount of questions. You even know what you've done.
Okay.
Some people would have found that extremely difficult.
Probably.
Question number 7, and this was from when we had Angel on, Voice of the Mausoleum, and it's the question she still complains that she got wrong. Which found footage movie centres around a character named Kurt Kunkel? I'll give you a clue. The character is played by the same guy who plays Steve Harrington.
Oh, Spree?
Correct.
You might not have given her the answer there.
I may as well have done. Yeah, okay.
No, but I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that movie either. I've just seen it like advertised, so like I haven't watched it.
You should. That's really, really cool. Actually.
Yeah, really good. No more support now. No more assistance. So, Mark, over to you for question number 8.
Question number 8. What is the highest grossing horror movie of all time?
Oh, God.
You don't have to give us your final answer. Spitball us some ideas on where you're at with this. You don't have to give us your final answer just yet. Throw some ideas of where you think what would be the highest grossing horror film of all time.
Shit. I don't know. But, like, I know it can't, it can't be Halloween. Because that seems a little far-fetched. I mean, even though it did incredible, like, you know, whatever. Oh my God, the highest grossing it's not Scream. I really, honestly, I don't know. Like, that's hard.
So
Like,
you're currently at question number 8, so you're on 80 points. You can take a gamble and you can guess, or you can walk away with your 80 points.
I'm walking away. I'm walking away. I'm walking away. I'm walking away. Because I worked too hard. Yes.
You're taking it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well done. You are now leading the quiz. You got 70 points, not 80. You were on question 8.
Yes.
Oh, apologies. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
no, that's okay. That's fine. I still have beat everybody.
You have so far. Yeah.
You're currently in first place. Well done.
The answer, Mark. What was the answer?
Yeah, tell me the answer.
The answer was It Chapter 1 from 2017.
And you know what? Now that you say that, I remember it. Like,
yeah, it's just one of them quizzes, man. Honestly, but if we'd have given you Save Me, and you'd have had multiple choice on that, I could guarantee you would have got it.
I would have got it.
Yeah.
I would have gotten it. I just rewatched both of those, not like a month ago.
And as it is the season finale, I want to give you question 9. So I'm going to give you one more question. Only because it's a Dream Warriors question, and I want to see how good your knowledge is.
Oh, shit.
In A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, what character has the power to be strong?
The power to be strong. Kincaid?
Yeah. So you'd have got that one. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. That's good.
But see, like that one kind of got me stirred up because, like, when you ask like the highest grossing, you start thinking of all the like genres, the decades, and you're like, holy shit. And then it's weird that it is It Chapter 1. Like, that's weird to me in a way.
Yeah, you see, the thing that's what's weird about this quiz. I think I would have gotten the It Chapter 1, but if you'd have asked me the Dream Warriors question, there is no way I would have been able to answer that.
Oh, I love.
I think it's just all catered to taste
the
and knowledge. Yeah, I think it's all just catered to preference on this quiz. It's so difficult. You could go out on question 1, but you could guarantee you'd maybe be able to get the next 10 questions right. That's how difficult it is based on your knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
That's it. Well done. You're top of the pops. You're top of the pops.
Let's see who's going to beat me.
I could win my bet. There's only 3 people left to take the quiz, so we've got one on the franchise head-to-head, and then we've got 2 at the start of season 6 while I'm on holiday, and then I come back and our brand new quiz arrives. So
it's going to be changed up.
Yeah, so you've got a chance. You could be top of the pops. Let's move over into facts. Heather Silmon, 70 points, first place. So during the lake scene, so you remember when I said it's the stupid lake scene where they're all taking their tops off and they're diving in the water? Marty leaves all of his clothes on. He doesn't take his top off. The reason for this is Frank Kratz, who plays Marty, is incredibly ripped, in better shape than Chris Hemsworth. And the director did not want the geeky, nerdy stoner character to look more ripped than Chris Hemsworth. So he insisted that he kept it on. He also insisted that he wore clothes that were 2 sizes too big to hide.
I noticed that.
Like, I tell you what, I Googled the character. I Googled the actor who played the character to see what all the stuff he'd been in, and all of his Google images is literally him just shredded to fuck off. Like, there is no way that is the same guy.
Yeah, and I thought that was wonderful. That this, just so everyone knows, Heather is now Googling to see the hot man.
What was his name?
Fran Kraz.
Yeah, Fran Kraz. So FranKraz. You got him?
I got it.
Does Heather approve?
What's Damn. Baby daddy. Dang.
The thermal coffee mug bong that he carries was actually a fully functional mug and fully functional bong, and it was a prototype made for the film that cost $5,000 of their budget.
Damn.
How the fuck did this thing cost $5,000?
It's a hybrid.
It's a bong and a cup.
I'm not being funny, but I used to smoke weed. I could have made that for fuck all.
You could have made it with a fucking apple or some shit, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
When Jules kisses the wolf head on the wall, which is still one of my favourite scenes,
Apparently.
they covered the tongue in powdered sugar to give it a dusty look and to make it tolerable for Anna Hutchinson because she struggled to do it when it was just rubber.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this wasn't an actual wolf, was it? This was a rubber prosthetic.
It was a prosthetic tongue.
Yeah.
The failed rituals from the other countries that you see in the movie, so you get flashes of all these other countries that have failed, are references constantly to other monster movies. So the Kyoto ritual is a reference to The Ring. The Buenos Aires one is a reference to King Kong. The Stockholm reference is to John Carpenter's The Thing. And the Madrid one appears to be a reference to Dracula as well. So all of those failed things referenced other horror movies, but only just a little bit. It's really, 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 really clever.
Yeah. The main focus one is the Ring one, isn't it? Where all the school children do the ceremony at the end, which summons it back into the lily flowers.
Yeah. The being from the Golden Sphere, so the one in the puzzle box, the one who's a rip-off of Pinhead, he's even more of a rip-off of Pinhead because in the credits he is known as Fornicus, the Lord of Bondage and Pain.
Brilliant.
So
Excellent.
He could not be any more of a rip-off of Pinhead if they'd called him like Pinhead Mark II. Heather Langenkamp, I bet you didn't expect to hear her name in facts. She served as a member of the cast and crew as she'd done a huge amount of the visual effects for this movie. She is a special effects artist with her husband. So she was on set all the way through. Evil Dead 1981, 1984, Resident Evil 2002, the Friday the 13th franchise, Cabin Fever, Saw are all considered the biggest influences behind this movie.
Yeah.
Man, there is so many others throughout the way. I mean, you've got Pennywise the Clown, which is a massive one.
Yeah.
He's got Scarecrows, everything you can think of in the horror genre is in here is somewhere or another, surely.
Yeah. This film also nearly took another step where Heather would have forgiven all the shit CGI without question, because Bruce Campbell nearly played the director instead of Sigourney Weaver, but he was unavailable. Believe it or not, Sigourney Weaver was the second choice to play the director over Bruce Campbell.
Well,
I would have preferred Bruce.
Oh, well, me too. Always.
Always. That would have made it feel more meta and more self-aware if he.
Yes, Yep, exactly.
This is the second movie that Sigourney Weaver has turned up at the end and played the person in charge, the big arsehole. She also done it in the movie Paul in 2011.
Yeah, she did.
So I'm guessing she gets maybe it's a fixed fee. There's a fixed fee to get Sigourney Weaver as arsehole.
I still bet she was the most highly paid cast member on set.
Yeah. I reckon she cost a fortune. Finally, the blood spewing out of the merman's blowhole was a late idea to the film. They went back and edited the conversation about it being a messy cleanup. It's a bitch to clean up. They edited that to put this scene in. When they filmed this, the blood that pumps out was set on a machine. They switch go and it pumps blood out. That happened for 9.5 minutes, of which they used 10 seconds in the movie. So for 9.5 minutes, that sprayed blood all over the set. And
that's a lot of blood that pumps out of that as well, man. Imagine that going for 9.5 minutes.
And it then rings true to the line that they edited back in, clean up as a bitch. The scores this week. So the listeners have scored this a 7 out of 10. And I'm going to end the season, for once, completely agreeing with them. This movie's got some great moments. The concept's fantastic, but it's lacking in lots of places for me. The CGI in this is not great. There's bits that are good, but bits that aren't so hot. I found some scenes drawn out, and some of the homages are great. Some of the rip-offs are too much. So Pinhead for me was like, come on, you're just being lazy now. You've got such a scope to play with. You can create any character you want. And even in one of the boxes, there is a 10-foot kitten. Why didn't we have the 10-foot kitten instead of Pinhead? That would have been awesome, because what movie's got a 10-foot killer kitten? That would have been great. But they didn't. They swayed towards these kind of almost like safe choices. It's a fun movie if you've got a group of you and you've got some beers and you all sit down, you chill out and watch a horror movie. This is easily the most prequelable movie ever made. You could bang out 5 prequels to this, you could bang out 10 prequels to this and pick a different monster every single time. And it would be great because you get to see all of these monsters we didn't get to see. I love it. It's entertaining, but it's nothing special. It's rehashed ideas in a new way, putting them all in a box and throwing them all in. I was kind of underwhelmed. It's a 7 out of 10 for me.
You say that on such a cliffhanger, like you hate it, but you give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is a high score for something like this.
I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but I just I feel that they had such a scope to play with. They basically created a world that is almost as manipulatable as Freddy's Dream World. They had so much scope to do anything they wanted, and they went with zombies, ghost girl, or the ballerina girl. They went with all these kind of traditional tropes that we've seen before. They went with the Pinhead character. They picked a CGI snake, but that's about as far out there as they went. But they could have gone as far as they wanted with this. And I felt that they held back when what I wanted them to do was just go full on, I can have everything. Yep. Have a 10-foot kitten maul a man and drag him around a room like a toy.
No, I get that. I understand that, and I appreciate that. And for me, as I said earlier, I didn't like this film at all the first time I watched it. I feel like it's a film that grows on you with multiple watches. I was very jarringly concerned about the direction this was taking the first time you watch it. It was confusing to me. I didn't like the back and forth and the bouncing and the juxtaposition between the laboratory and the cast that you follow and how contrastingly different the tones were between the two story arcs that you follow. And it was I've seen this film hundreds of times and it must have took me at least 10, 20 times before I finally started to get on board with the direction they were taking with it, before it landed with me. Something you shouldn't have to do with a film. Don't get me wrong, like you shouldn't have to watch a film that many times to be able to appreciate the direction they are taking it in. Something that I do understand. But for me, I thought the casting was great. I think the story was fantastic. I like how it takes the traditional direction purposefully. I feel like everything is done deliberately. I feel like it's a purposeful, standard cabin in the woods, Friday the 13th slasher style film, but done in a way that's so very meta and so self-aware that you can't help but love it, knowing if you're a fan of the genre, then you're a fan of everything that this film tries to put on display. And don't get me wrong, I can appreciate what you're saying with the lazy aspects, with the character decisions that they chose when it comes to the stuff that they ultimately go with, the zombie redneck family. And that is one of my biggest gripes with this film, is that I feel like they could have picked something a lot stronger based on the wide variety of things they had to go with. But overall, this is such an enjoyable experience to watch this film. And every time I watch it, I always pick up on something new that I didn't see the previous time that I watched it, or there was a nod to a film that I didn't necessarily, or I hadn't, more to the point, it wasn't the case where I didn't pick it up, but I hadn't seen the film that this film was referencing.
Yeah.
So I'll watch a horror film, something from the 80s, and I will then go back and watch The Cabin in the Woods. I'm like, oh shit, I never picked up on that because that was based on the film that I've only just recently watched. And I love this film, and I watch it a lot, and it's a go-to film for me, where I'm just sat there and I'm scrolling through the multitude of social media platforms that you can pick, and you can watch these films, you can watch horror, and I'll see Cabin in the Woods pop up, and I think, fuck it, I need something mindless to watch, and I'll always go to this film. And it's got its problems, but if I was to rank this based on my sole enjoyment from it every single time I watch it, it's a 5 out of 5. Probably my highest scoring film of the season, I think, to be honest. But it for me, And I know when I say this is not necessarily the right score to give it because it does have its problems.
Hey,
But as a personal,
I can't knock you. I scored Sharknado 3 and 9.
yeah, my personal enjoyment out of it, it's a 5 out of 5. I love this film and I will watch it multiple times till the day I die. I think it's a really, really enjoyable film, and it doesn't warrant any negativity towards it. It's done something for fans, and it feels very much like a fan service horror comedy. I haven't seen something done as well as this since Shaun of the Dead.
I'm okay. First of all, Scott, Sharknado, you gave it a 9. I don't.
Sharknado 3 is just so good. Best film I've seen this season by far.
Anyways, we're gonna skip past that fucking nonsense because I don't know. Maybe I don't even have any fucking words for that. That's just asinine that you say that. But okay, so I'm going to kind of agree with both of you guys on that, on the aspects of the movie, because I need to watch it more. I think that this will be a movie that I need to rewatch about 3 to 5 more times, seriously, because I've only seen it twice. It's kind of hard for me to give it a direct score, honestly, just because I feel like Mark said, I'm going to miss out on stuff. There's going to be something when I watch it the third time that I'm going to go, shit, I didn't get that. I should have gotten that. The CGI, of course, I didn't really care for it, but because of the premise of the film, because of the creativity, it was unique. I don't think I've really ever seen a horror film that was had such a metaphor in it. And the metaphor to me is what I got from it was that, the gods or whatever, it's we're the gods because we're always searching for a better scare. We're always searching for something that's going to outdo what we're used to seeing. We could watch a film Friday the 13th. Okay, we're fine with that. All right, simple kill, whatever. But the metaphor in the movie is that wasn't enough for them. That's why they had to put on a show. So I like that. It was very smart, inventive. So overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 just because it's, I still don't understand this 10 out of 10 shit. Mark, I know that you don't.
No, honestly, it is a 10 out of 10. It's one of the most. When I first saw this, like I say, I didn't like it, but I've seen this numerous times throughout. I think the practical effects works outstanding, and I don't get the gripe with the CGI because I thought the CGI, and as you all know, I'm a big critic for CGI. I hate CGI in horror, but I thought this was faultless. I didn't for one second find any moment in it where the CGI stepped out to me that I would criticize. Not initially when it first came out, but throughout the years, it's been one of those films that I have highly anticipated a sequel or a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like it could warrant a sequel. I feel like you could pick straight up from the ending of this film and you could do something you could go full on aliens with it and have a human resistance and everything towards the gods and things. And then you could also go back to a more subtle approach and do a prequel where you've got multiple cabins or multiple locations, whether it be Japan or Croatia or all the rest of them. And I feel like it just opened a wide scope of mythology that could have been expanded upon so much. And it was so disappointing that it didn't. This could have been its own MCU universe on its own. And it's a shame it didn't get that opportunity to do that because I think it's incredible. And like I said, it's a film that I hated for a long period of time when it came out, which is so weird for me to give it the score that I've given it now because it didn't warrant that the first time I watched it. When I first watched it, I thought, this is fucking nonsense. It's stupid. But
it's just different.
My scope and my journey throughout the horror genre has grown, and I've seen a lot more films, and I'm picking up on a lot more nods, and I'm like, oh, it's done this because of this, or it did that because of that, or that's why they took that approach with that, because that's a nod to that. And then I just feel like this is a fan film. This is done for the fans of horror, and I feel like it's if you love horror and you love the scope of horror and you've seen a wide variety of horror films and you go back and you see this and you pick up on all the nods and homages it does throughout, even yourselves, you guys have both sort of scored it. You've picked up on multiple things that you dislike about it and you don't think it's an exceptionally great film, but then you've still both scored it reasonably high. You're both within the top sort of 80-90% given the criticisms you've both given to it.
it's very rewatchable. Right? Well, it is because it is very entertaining. So it doesn't have to be an on-set slaughterhouse or like a slasher, which, you know, are some of my favorites. Scott, I think those are your favorites. I love slasher films. But like, it doesn't have to be scary to be good. And I think that's why I gave it such a high score, because typically I'd be like, you know, I watch a lot of dumb movies. That's what I do. And most of the time, guess what? I rate them based on how scary they are, and they always fail because they're fucking stupid. But this one, even though it was not scary, it is ranked up pretty high to me because it's so enjoyable. I can see that you could have your friends over, have like a wine night or whatever, and you can put this movie on. It's fun.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. What we're going to drop into next is something new. So we're going to be trialing a bit for season 6, and I need your feedback on this. If you like it, it stays. If you don't like it, guess what? You don't get it. So we're trying a new feature called Favorite Bit. So I asked everyone in the world across social media what their favorite bit of this horror movie is, and I got some great answers that I wanted to share. So the first one is DK ran an A. I have no idea what movie this is. I used a picture of Citizen and Hadley. And their response was, I don't know what this movie is. So they've got nothing to say. We've got
that was helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for taking part.
We've got Tasha Scribbles. When they're travelling through the containment space and you get all the monsters, there is also a huge kitten in that scene that everyone misses. I didn't miss it. I saw it. It's in the top right-hand corner. It's fucking awesome.
That's my point, though. I've seen this film hundreds of times. I haven't seen the giant kitten.
Go back and look. It's a giant kitten, and it looks like cute and fluffy, but it's huge.
I'll try. I'll watch it again, definitely.
Lumberjay the Hair Gay, the credits. Just joking. It had to be when everything gets loose in the lab. It's absolute carnage. And then finally, Skellington Fan, the credits. She wasn't joking.
Yeah, she's not playing.
Skelly, man, I don't know what to say to you. I really don't know what to say to you at this point.
It just gives you the perception of how everybody's taste in horror is so different.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, I get it with this film. I get how this could be so varied upon people's opinions. I do understand it.
Yeah.
I do understand it because I've had that journey myself. And it's taken multiple rewatches to get me to where I am.
And DK Renee, you need to go and watch it.
Before you pass opinion in the future, if we do continue to do this feature,
please.
At least try and watch the film first.
We will be back one final time as me and Mark go to pit our favourite franchises against each other as Halloween gets slaughtered by A Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, do you know what? I'm not even getting involved. I'll leave it till the episode.
Don't interrupt. It's rude. Mr. Tazzy is going to be joining us, and he's going to save bloodshed and shouting matches. He will also be taking on a broken spirit, now in an attempt to catch Heather.
Catch me.
Catch me if you can. That was a film, sure. Anyway, that's next week. That's our final out, and that is our bonus episode. Heather, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sorry you've had to wait an entire season, but I wanted to save you till last.
I mean, if you're not first, you're last, right? That's a Ricky Bobby quote. Anyways, that has nothing to do with this. But no, I had a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun recording with you guys. We do true crime together, so can't wait to do that with somebody else that's on here. That's going to be fun.
So just so everyone knows, we're recording this tonight. So we've recorded Cabin in the Woods. Tomorrow night, we're all back together again, and we're going to record. We're going to record Mr. Gacy. That's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'll leave it for the episode. Fuck
Yes.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone, for listening all season. You're all great. The response we get and the messages we get on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and wherever else you contact us, they mean so much. This season has been so rewarding, and Mark coming on as well has just changed everything. And this has gone from me talking shit on my own or talking shit with a guest, talking shit with someone that has become a really, really close friend. And
we talk shit together. It's great.
It's wonderful.
Perfect.
again, thank you for listening. Thank you, Heather. We will catch you all next week as A Nightmare on Elm Street slays the beast that is Halloween.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
See you all next week.
Bye.
You want to die tonight?
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the You Run podcast. Don't forget to get involved in the show. All you need to do is head to our website, yourunpodcast.com.
This is not our show. This is your show.